Why is it the best?
No complaints. First about my birthday, but secondly, the weather is, we're escaping the wintertime, and I hate the wintertime.
When's your birthday?
The 19th.
19th? Okay, that was okay, wait, can we... There we go. Happy birthday. Happy upcoming birthday, okay?
Thank you.
All right, so we're getting things started up here. It is the PeterPromo podcast. We have an amazing panel together today with entrepreneurs and creatives and amazing people with amazing stories. It is our first all-women panel, and I feel like this one's going to be the best one.
I agree.
This is going to be the best one.
We always got to put that touch to stuff. So,
got to.
You're right.
Okay, so why don't we just go ahead and go around the table? Tell me who you are, what you do. Give me a little bio, a little quick one, a little tiny one. Where we gonna start with?
Look, they just put me on the floor.
Put it on the floor. You got the pink on. You got the hot pink. Okay, come on now. You got the hot pink.
My name is Yunna. I'm here from Detroit, Michigan. Born and raised on the east side. I don't discriminate, but east side is the best side. So.
Hey, that sounds like discrimination.
Speaking of facts. I'm really in a whole lot of buckets. Not gonna speak about everything, but I'm just starting my rap career. I want to say music career because I write music. I don't know how to sing though, so I will be doing the rap part, just for a little bit, see how that's going. I have been writing music since I was about 13, but I just never took it serious, and everybody's kind of like, all my family, like, you should give it a try, see what happens with it. And I was all kind of nervous, so I never really wanted to have to, get out there. But I'm like, might as well give it a try, see what becomes of it.
We're going to touch back on a couple of the things that you just talked about here. Let's move on to our next speaker. Tell us about who you are and a little bit about what you do.
Okay, my name is Shontori Bowles, and I am a working mother, and wife. I'm wife first, then mother, and I am in the mental health field. I do therapeutic services, substance abuse. I also do mental health first aid training, catfish training. I do.
Did you say catfish training?
No, it's CAFAS, CAFAS.
What's that?
So it's child and adolescent functioning scale. So what it does is it helps to evaluate where a child is all around. So whether it's in school, whether it's in their family lives, all around where they are, and they give them a score, and they see where they need to improve in and where they need support.
Bet.
Yeah.
But do they offer catfish training too? Because I feel like there's some people that need that. No.
Not at this moment. I think it's just something.
We're going to talk. We're going to do a different podcast on that one. Okay, bet. Yeah. All right. And our last, but certainly not least, our late one here, you know what I'm saying? She has some business deals. She's doing, what's going on? Tell us about yourself.
Yes, my name is Karlin, Traylor, and I currently own 6 businesses. 2 of them belong to my children. One to my son, one to my daughter. The rest will go to my other children. I'm a mother, well, obviously, and I'm a wife. I've been married for 10 years now. And I'm happy to be here. And that's just a little bit about me. So thank you for inviting me.
Hey, well, I feel like the universe brought us together here, See, there was a plan to get some of the most amazing people together. When the world needed avenging, they would avenge. It's the Avengers. That's what we are. We're the Avengers. We're the black. I guess I'm what's the guy's name? Samuel Jackson. You guys don't watch. So you guys don't watch. Yeah. How do you guys not? Okay, you women. You don't know anything about the Avengers. You don't watch the Marvel Cinematic.
I know about the Black Panther.
That's all.
Okay.
And I know about the Avengers. You elaborate on a couple other ones, but I don't know.
So like Iron Man.
Name. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Aquaman.
Okay. So yeah.
Maybe. Okay. Let's.
Captain America.
Thor.
Is the Hawk?
Look, I wanted to ask that so bad.
I think the Hawk.
Okay, you threw Aquaman in there. He's from DC.
Okay,
And
I
we're talking
tried.
about Marvel. You tried. You failed.
Oh, but she did good though, because I could have never named not one. I would have never thought to say, oh, okay, yeah.
Technically, you know.
But when she named him, it was like, okay, I heard of him before.
Right.
Yeah, I heard
Thank
him
you.
before.
Back me up.
Exactly.
Well, okay. Let's not gang up on the guy here, okay?
I mean,
let's not.
Can't
Okay.
gang up on sis and then expect us to
Right.
just sit back.
How can I gang? That's one on one. How can I, gang up on?
You trying to, you know,
You right.
badger her
You
right
right.
quick.
You,
We ain't
okay.
having
You
that.
might
We
be
ain't
onto
having
something right there.
that. We ain't having that.
So I am honored to have you guys here. I want to talk to you guys about creativity. Okay, and lions. I want to talk about
My favorite. Yeah.
okay. There's a lot of creativity that is out there. The universe, it surges through us. It gets in us in different ways. How do you get your creativity going? How do you know you're an artist? You have to work with different people and figure out creative ways to help solve solutions. You're a manager of artists. How does that creativity get to you? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of distractions out there. How do you surf
Definitely.
through all that to get the creative spirit going?
For me, I'm gonna definitely say that it's my prayer life, my no nonsense, my no nonsense policies.
No nonsense?
No
I
nonsense.
mean, you gotta have a little bit of nonsense.
No nonsense. I don't
No
have
what?
time to tolerate nonsense.
No shenanigans.
I go by 2 rules, and the first rule is accountability. So I am accountable for my actions, not other actions. So if I'm in a realm or in a surrounding where things aren't positive, then it's time for me to remove myself because I don't dwell in confusion. So that keeps me around peaceful things, peaceful people, and that's how I function. Keeping at those positive vibes.
Okay. Who else has got some? How do you get your creative going? How do you keep that going? Anybody?
So I think I've always been a creative person.
Yeah.
I don't know if it comes from my birth order. I'm the middle child, so I had to figure out and maneuver, different situations. I am one of 5, so
Woo.
so I had
myself
to,
as well.
I had to definitely figure out how to get this one and not rip this one's head off and stuff like that. And
No murder. Let's try not to murder our siblings. Let's
yeah, and then again, I'm a mom, so the children, whenever they're around, they pull a lot of stuff out of you that you didn't know was there.
Okay, you get the creativity from them. That's actually pretty cool. I didn't think about that. Okay, give me one more. Shoot, what you got for me?
I think that life experience brings a lot of creativity about. I've always possessed that creative spirit, but you grow more the more you're able to experience, and so I think that's what empowers it even more once you're able to grasp
Absolutely.
a little knowledge out of this place, that place, and put it together.
Well, the big question I think is, how do you change your creativity and turn it into money? How do you do that? How do you get that creative thing? Say, because there's people who they sit at home and they watch a TV show and like, oh, I could do that. I could. And then there's other people who just take that and just run with it.
That's exactly what I think
Exactly.
even brought me to try to go out and venture off into the music industry, because like I said, it was never something that I wanted to get off into. It was just something that I've always been able to write. I was, as far as back as I can remember, I used to like to write poetry. I used to like to write stories. And
What kind of stories?
any type of story, just anything, fictional, just any type of story, just to write. I've always been an introvert, so I'm always in my mind. I'm always thinking about stuff.
You've always been introverted?
I've always been introverted. I'm learning now because I've always been real shy and reserved, but I've always worked in customer service. It's when I started in the job field, I've always been in customer service.
Right.
And so that taught me how to talk to people. I've always been very closed off and reserved.
I know a lot of people who don't like people. They just are you ever fall into that category?
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't. I honestly, I love people.
And you know what? It's like I used to love to say that about myself, but like I say, sometimes through life experiences, you just be like, yeah, I like who I like, but I ain't gonna say I look
you
out
learn,
here.
but it goes back to that circle thing. Who are you
Exactly.
surrounded around that? For me, that no nonsense, not tolerating much. So
Well, let me ask you a question though, okay? And this might be for you. I'm not sure. Okay, if all the positive people right? They stay around each other, and then they ostracize all the negative people. What happens to all those negative people? What happens when all the positive people become the people who get rid of these other people? Then who's gonna help them? You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna help those people?
It's not that you don't help them, though. It's not that you don't help them. We're talking about your circle.
Right.
So you're around positive people because of where you're trying to go.
Right.
It does not mean that I won't accept you or help you. It's just when it's time for me to grind, I'm going to surround myself around positive things. Now, as far as helping, absolutely, because I want to see everyone make it. I want to see everyone get the bag. But
I don't want to see everybody get the bag.
Well, I do.
There's a couple people.
And then
there's a couple people out there that.
Well, you can't be like that because that's that negative you were just speaking about. So if they're a negative person, we want to see them make it, and it may take that removal of us for them to see them ugly selves. You know what I'm saying? See that ugliness. Wow, I wonder why such and such stopped talking to me. I wonder why I'm not included in this. Well, could be because of your attitude. But me, I have to keep pushing. And all of us here, we have so much in common already. We all have children. We're pushing for our goals. I mean, we're entrepreneurs, so we're looking to make money. In order to make that money, we got to stay positive. We don't have time for distractions.
What you got for me on there? I know you cooking up over here.
I would say that I disagree just a little bit, and I agree with you, Peter, in that when you put yourself around people where who have attributes that you want, so whether they have money or whether they're happy or what have you, you're more than likely to obtain those attributes at a certain point in time. However, if you look at you putting yourself around positive people or putting yourself around people who have money, just imagine that person who has a negative attitude. So if I have a negative attitude but I want a positive one, I have to
be around positive people. You got to.
So if you push the person who has a negative attitude, or they don't smile and you are always smiling, or in all your group is smiling, maybe they're not smiling because they have bad teeth, or maybe they're not smiling because they have nothing to smile about. But when they're around you,
to me, that's a totally different situation.
But you wouldn't know just seeing them. You see them, and they got a mean mug, and you say, they're negative. I don't want, you're over here.
See, I'm so very open. Yeah. I don't look at it like that at all. I wouldn't even look in that aspect because I pray for so many different people, including my employees. I pick some of the lowest people up off the ground. So when I'm speaking of negative, I've already tried.
What do you mean by lowest people?
So the people who are just in distress, they're going through a lot. Those are the people that I pray for, that I take in. I have people who have lived with me. I've had people who were on drugs that stayed with me to wean themselves off. Right. So I'm not talking about people who are hurting or they have an attitude for a reason. I'm just talking about if you're negative. I don't dwell in that. So I won't sit around. If I'm constantly saying, oh, this looks good, I love the way you did, you're doing your podcast.
Thank you.
Then someone comes along and says, well, wasn't that great to me? Whoa, okay. He's doing this. This is what he likes to do. So I'm going to encourage him in that. So I don't deal with that type of negative.
But see, this is what I'm saying. Maybe because I am a contrarian, and I will say that. I am a contrarian. However, I would appreciate the person who doesn't like my podcast because I feel like they have valuable information to tell me. You know what I'm saying? Like, the people who are like, I love it, I love it, I love it. That's cool. You're being supportive. But I'm kind of like, okay, let me talk to someone who doesn't know me, who ain't going, you know what I'm saying? There's a vulgarity to it. I'm going to say it, but this is a very vulgar, okay?
As long as they're not a hater. As long as they're not your hater, I'm fine with that.
They call it something sucking, okay? And you know what? And like, here's what I'm saying. I would rather talk to the haters. I'd rather see where your head is at, take the little sprinkle of salt, and then and grow my thing. Because the people who love it, I'm confident. I know people love my stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I need to sift through the stuff and figure out the other stuff. But again, I deal with a lot of clients. I don't know how many people you guys normally deal with. Last year, I recorded 600 artists. 600. That's 600 personalities. That's 600 mental illness issues going on. That's 600 people that I tried to help. Use the studio as therapy. And I gotta say that one of the main things that people talk about is the baby mama drama. The baby mama drama. What can you guys tell me about that?
It's baby daddy drama too. Let me just put that out there first.
Of course, but talk to me about the baby mama
prevalent.
drama.
It's very prevalent.
I love that word that you just used there.
Yeah.
Prevalent. I've been trying to put people on prevalent for years. Amazing. Kudos. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm not going to elaborate on it too much, but just,
Okay.
It's there.
Where does the animosity go on with the baby mama drama?
To my knowledge, you have outliers in any situation. So you're going to have that one female who just wants to make somebody's life terrible. You know, they wake up and say, I want to ruin his life just because.
Wake up with that?
They just wake up, you know what? I'm about to ruin my baby daddy's life, whoever he with, whatever. So you always have outliers. But for the most part, what I come across is somebody either lying in a situation or not having clarity. So what I mean by that is Ashley is the baby mama to Paul. Okay?
Can we call him Darren?
Okay, Darren. Ashley is the baby mama to Darren.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then Darren, is still sleeping with Ashley, is still, going over and buying her stuff, staying over, everything.
Gotcha.
However, when he goes out, he meets Paula.
So we gotta find Paula in name too.
Yeah,
there's Paula's. Why y'all? It's a Paula's. I'm making up names.
Because when he transitioned it to Darren, it seemed like it was like a black couple.
It was a black couple.
It was a black couple at that point. So,
but I know Black Paula.
Paul Abdul?
She older than.
Okay.
Beatrice.
Let me see. Give me a name.
What's her name gonna be?
Ebony.
Ebony.
Okay.
Ebony.
Okay. So he goes out and he meets Ebony, and Ebony says,
"Don't be hating on Ebony. Ebony must have been."
And Ebony says, "Hey, do you got a girlfriend?"
What does he say?
No. And do you have any kids, any baby mama? Yeah, I got a baby mama, but we just co-parenting or what have you.
That's their favorite line.
It's their favorite line.
I'm telling you.
Or
the co-parent thing?
Yeah, that. But also just to say I'm not dealing with my baby mama no more. Like, I don't understand why it's like lie. Like, it seems like that's their first mind to lie.
Men?
Yeah.
That is kind of the thing, but I think that from the last conversation we was talking about with Gino and some of the people that I know from Mount Clemens, it was like being upfront is the best thing. Like, if you want to do something on the dip low and you would be upfront about it. If you see Ebony and she says, "Do you have a?" You be like, "Yep," but she ain't here tonight. Then she know off rip exactly what it is. So Ebony is not confused. There's no confusion to anything, and people can be who they are.
And she has the choice. See, another thing is that females, so Ashley feels like I didn't have a choice in this situation. This person came and Ebony took her man. She didn't know, or it doesn't come across because she only talks to Darren, that Ebony came and took her man. And she doesn't know anything about Ashley. You see what I'm saying? But that's another issue, is that females always attack the other female instead of attacking who you're in a relationship or who you're sleeping with. So if you have, it comes down to communication. If Darren is there and Darren is sleeping with you or what have you, y'all have to have this conversation. Where are we going? Are you going to marry me? Are we going to get engaged? What have you? Generally, if you don't say all of those things, then you're thinking one thing, and in his mind, hey, I'm just sleeping with you. You in-house,
in-house what?
In-house.
Say it. Say it.
In-house sex, right? and he don't have to go and look for somebody to sleep with, but because he know he has it. But if anything comes, it comes.
Here's the thing, though. I won't say this works for all guys, and I'm definitely not speaking for all guys, or even speaking for myself. But it's like men, right? Doctors, anesthesiologists, nurses, whatever. We know everything about pregnancy, but we still don't know nothing about pregnancy. In that same vein,
yes,
women know about testosterone, but y'all have no idea what testosterone does to us. One moment it's just like this, and then it's like, "What are you doing, Peter? what? And it is just.
It's so crazy because I just had that thought the other day, and I'm like, we sit up here and go through all these hormonal changes. I'm like, I wonder, it's so crazy you said that.
When it hits us at 12, it is just boners in class and weird awkward moments, and we looking at girls differently, and there's a monster inside of our brain telling us. And it's like you take a little baby bear who never was around his mom or kids, and you put him in the water, and he naturally swims, and he naturally goes. It's a natural instinct for us to just, it's bred in our DNA. So what we done is like years of civilization and trying to domesticate us as men to tell us to ignore this thing that's in our brain.
Right.
That's continuously, now there's break times and there's like chilling and whatever, but the wrong thing happened. And that monster is just telling us. And I think for maybe more weak-minded people, maybe they give in to that thing. But with control.
Because who is to say that females don't have that same thing? By you not being in a female's body, by you not having a female's brain, who is to say that a female's brain is
tell
like
me,
that?
tell me, do y'all be on the same thing?
I mean, I thought y'all already knew because y'all be like, y'all hormones. Like, y'all already should know what goes on in a woman's body. You can't even explain that. It's not fair, actually.
So try to talk to me. That's why I got y'all here. Explain what goes on in a woman's body.
I just remember one day I'm sitting up here, right? We're on the freeway, and we in the car. When I say we, me and my boyfriend, we in the car. And I can't even remember what we were talking about, but I promise you it had something to do with shoestrings. And I forgot how the conversation went, but I ended up looking out the window about to cry. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me? What's wrong with me? That's when I learned that, like, a couple days before your menstrual, you're going to be very emotional. You're going to be all over the place. And it's like, it took me a while to put the two together. Like, it does something to us. It's like mental off balance when, those hormones kick in.
Okay. One big thing I wanted to ask you guys are powerful women. I like that. I like that you guys all have ignored the systemic things that are issues for us as black people, and you guys have all prospered to an amazing level that I want to dive deeper into. I wanted to know, what are the things that you do that you can pass down to maybe some young ladies that are watching right now? Levels, tips for success, tips to get you out of the procrastination, tips that have helped you to avoid situations, tips that, what do you got? I mean, we can just rapid fire. Like, what do you got? Give me some things for these young ladies out here.
Definitely.
Go ahead.
Definitely prayer for me. Asking, God for guidance. What should I do? I believe if you keep God first, that he'll order your steps. So that's what I would say to young women. Just pray about it before you make decisions. Don't just jump into things, but actually just go before the Lord. Let him show you. Let him lead the way. And if you have that, I don't see an issue with failing. So that's my first thing. Second thing is really write it down. What is it that you really want to do? What is your real heart desire? My niece was going to school, and I raised my niece. So she was getting ready for college, and she kept saying she wanted to go for psychology. And I said, well, everything you've ever done and everything that you tell me that you enjoy, it doesn't add up to the psychology. Let's write this down. And we ended up finding out how much she likes people, how she loves to help people. So she ended up going to school for social work. She's at Eastern. This is her 3rd year.
Hey.
And she's stuck with that. But had she did the psychology, and if you look
and I can't lie, because when I just had psychology as like a prerequisite, but I fell in love with it, and something in me wanted to go, and I was like, no, that's not what right, what you tapped into.
So had she continued with that, not finding what she really liked, it's like finding a favorite color. I ask people, what's your favorite color? And they always tell me, oh, it's this color maybe from childhood. Or I'll go over your house like, you have brown here, you have brown there, you have brown. Oh, I guess I really do like brown. It's that thing you've always been seeking and peeking out. So I don't know. I just say write things down. See what you really like, what you really enjoy. Look at the statistics. We have these young people going to school and they don't finish. They're leaving because they're not happy with their major, or they're changing their major 3 and 4 different times. So just really find yourself, find out what you like. Yeah. Have that prayer life.
Who else got something for me? Tips.
I would really second the prayer life for one, because all of my life, first of all, I've been in raised in church. My grandmother kept us in church, and so having that instilled in me, I held on to that. But as I've been able to grow more into an adult, like, he'll show you. He'll show
God.
you. He'll show you. You ask him, and like, if
Is
it's
God?
through dreams, if it's through, like, you have to really pay attention. And when
Get
you,
my party in
Okay,
first.
go ahead and get your party in there.
you know, when you have to really step into your spiritual journey with a full mind. And once you're able to do that, and take like religion, people put religion on top. You know, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But yes, I second prayer, definitely. And then just also holding on to the concept that tomorrow is not promised to us. Like last year, that's what did it for me. Like I've always known that, but last year was so wild, so hectic. It was like, stop waiting. Get up, and whatever you want to do, just do it. And stop procrastinating. Stop pushing it back. Stop saying, "Oh, I'm gonna wait."
That's a good tip.
You know,
Stop procrastinating.
Yeah.
Go out there and
girl,
do
you
it.
said that well.
Thank you.
Okay.
So mine, I'm not gonna piggyback off of that, even though that's important.
Number 3.
Number 3 is self-care for me. Self-care is not a new concept. However, over the years, I have to remind myself that's an important aspect of, number one, thriving in where you are, and also getting to where you need to be. So we were talking about encouraging earlier. One cannot encourage to the maximal level to somebody else without having some level of encouragement to themselves. Same thing with self-care. One cannot care effectively for somebody else and you're dying. You can't help somebody thrive.
You sure about that?
Effectively, yes. So again, let's say feeding somebody.
Right.
I can feed somebody, but I'm not gonna feed them effectively because I'm weak, because I ain't feed myself. So I'm going slower. I might drop something because my gait is off. Let's see, my vision might get blurry, so I might miss their mouth. Something might happen because I am malnourished myself. So
But that's a strong might. That's a might.
No.
I mean, I think that plenty of...
If I didn't eat in a week, 9 times out of 10, which a lot of people do when they're depressed, or whether they're giving their last morsel of food to their child for, hey, I want my kid to eat, but you who's gonna carry this 6-month-old child or this 1-year-old child? You have to. So yes, you're gonna make sure they eat, but maybe they only need so much. Kids may throw away food, or eat 3 chicken nuggets and not the 4th one. So you have to just reevaluate where you are. But there's no way you can care for a 1, 2, 3, 4-year-old if you're passed out in the middle of Woodward because you didn't eat for a week.
I think I hear what you're saying, and I totally agree. I'm with her with the self-care, but when you broke it down in that manner, I know I have 15 employees. 11 of them are at my preschool. And there's times that I go with, where I'm pushing for them what they need, items they may need, things that they need, and I'm tired and I'm exhausted. So I don't have those moments where I'm fed necessarily, where I'm having that self-care. I might have to even push the next day and the next day and work on this project and something else, and I am burnt out. But I hear you when you say the self-care, but sometimes you have to take away from self really to be successful. Sometimes you just don't have those moments where you can solely be, okay, I know I need a vacation. I know I need to rest, but you're just not able to all the time.
Yeah, well, so, and again, I agree with you.
Talk to him, doctor. Talk to him, doctor.
But everything is good in moderation. So, do I say take a 6-month vacation? No.
Right.
So, and it's the same with, working. So, yes, you have a project. You got a project that you need to turn in 2 weeks. Yes, you have that deadline in 2 weeks that you're working for. So, yes, for 2 weeks, maybe you only eat once a day, or maybe 2 days. You can go by and you say, hey, did I eat for that 2 weeks? To not eat for 2 weeks You see what I'm saying? Because
Can we drink?
you know, or you know, you can only go so long without water. To not drink water because you're giving water to somebody else for a certain period of time. That's what I'm speaking of. So yes, you know, you refrain from plenty of times writing papers. Hey, you don't get the 8 hours of sleep. You know, having kids, you don't get the 8 hours of sleep. But eventually, your body is gonna what? It's gonna shut down. Your body is gonna shut down. Your body regulates you. You know, you might think, hey, my mind is stronger than my body, but eventually, you know, your body is composed of your mind, your heart, your blood, your vessel, all of this stuff. So your mind can be strong, and it can go further than what you may have thought. You know, if you put your mind to it, you might have gone farther than what you may have thought. However, at the end of the day, your body is gonna say. And then same with the, you know, will. Your will might be stronger than your what you think
Appetite?
you think your purpose is. No, what you think your purpose is. So like you said, hey, I like helping people. I want to go into psychology, you know, but your will to seek out what you actually need to do or should do, that can actually, you know, help propel you as well. So I think we agree, but I think anything in moderation is okay. But when you start stretching yourself thin and you have nothing left. So this is when you have nothing left. You know, you can't, there's no way. You know.
Here's my question. This might be a divisive topic.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to be successful and you know, like you guys all have I would guess, have a personal relationship with God,
Mm-hmm.
and you feel that she has blessed you with these gifts,
Mm-hmm.
and that by praying to her, you know, you're manifesting things. Okay, so that seemed to be a prominent piece of the puzzle. So to someone that let's say, atheist, are they doomed to fail?
And you know what? I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that's a touchy subject for me.
Yeah.
I don't. It goes into bisexual, lesbian, gay. When you're talking about atheists and how people treat other people. So, for example,
You said gay people are atheist? What do you mean?
so what I'm saying is, oh, because they don't believe in God, that they're doomed, right? Oh, because they're gay, they're going to hell. So we as humans, sometimes we try to put people in places that we have no right to. I just feel like it's not our right to judge what people do.
No, I don't mean doomed to hell. I just mean like
Being successful.
it's being successful. Because
No,
you put a
definitely
lot of stuff into God, and I feel like, you know, is that prevalent? Do you have to have that? You know, have her in your life in order to.
So in reference to me, and I think that's where I'm gonna tie it back to what I was saying. So God is the creator of all. So whether you like him, dislike him, believe in him, don't believe him, he created all, or she created all, whatever. Now, when you talk about grace, when you talk about mercy, when you talk about things of that joy that surpasses all understanding. So you might have an atheist, and I'm just getting hypothetical. You might have an atheist who, you know, they get $5 and they're happy, you know, or they lose $5 and they're sad, and that's something that we would do. However,
Who's we? Women?
No,
People
those
who are not atheists.
Who are not atheists. However, their mother dies. You see what I'm saying? When somebody dies, that us as who believe in God, we get sad also. However, we can have joy in that, you know, whatever we find joy in, that surpasses all understanding. Hey, your mom died. Like, I would be tore up from the floor up, but you in church praising God. Like, how does that happen? It's not our own merit. You see what I'm saying? It's God who gives us that. So the same thing with talking about being successful, is you might get a couple of dollars, but you won't get that favor. You see what I'm saying? That God will place on somebody's life if they're effectively serving him, and they're serving him in all aspects. They're not only just serving him to the church people. They're if he said, if you deny me in front of the masses, then he'll deny you when you're face to face with him. So
you know what?
I think what is your thoughts? Because
I'm here as an inquisitor, okay? I'm just a curator.
So favor,
I want to get your.
So you know what favor is, right? What is favor to you?
Do me a favor, okay?
No, what is favor? What is favor?
I asked for a favor. This is what I get. God spite me. What did she do to me?
What is favor? What does favor mean to you? Do you know what favor is?
I mean, yeah, you do a favor for somebody.
no.
Okay, I get what you mean.
What is grace?
Grace?
Yes.
Come, Lord Jesus, be our guest, and let our gifts to us be blessed. Amen.
And
Grace.
those things, seriously, is some situations that you have to be put in order to get a recollection of what those things are. So yeah, it's plenty of people who say, "Oh, grace and mercy" or whatever, and they get in a car accident and they come out and they're like, there is no way that I could have came out and cars crashed and mumbled up and jumbled up and wrapped around a tree, and they walking out of there with not a scratch on them. You see what I'm saying?
That happens all the time.
And how the doctors listen?
You want me to answer that for you? I can answer that for you.
Listen, it defies all logic.
Exactly.
Yeah, but so
This
does everything. Everything defies all logic.
No, everything doesn't.
Name one thing that defies logic.
Another topic for a whole nother day.
Yeah. So
how far are we into this hour?
Yeah, because I don't even know where we.
10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
No, we're 30 minutes in.
but still, so yeah, it's some things that you can't know outside being a mother. It's plenty of people, and this is an argument that's
right? I feel like that defies logic.
I know how to be a
That's
mother.
amazing.
I know that you need to feed a child. I know that you need to clothe a child. I know, and I've seen this on Facebook recently, so I know this is a major hot topic. However, it's this thing that's in you that gets created once as soon as that baby is in your belly. It's a thing, that's created that you can't explain, and
You can't?
nobody can. I mean, no, you can't explain it. You can't explain the feeling of being a mother.
You can't.
No, you can't.
Okay.
How can you explain the feeling of being a mother?
Well, I mean, it's like being a parent, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't have any kids.
Okay.
But I think part of being a parent is like two parts. One is having the children, and the other part is having had parents. Because if you never had parents before and you walk into their blind, you can read all the books you want to, but there's nothing like that experience of having the dad wasn't around. Maybe he was around. Mom was on crack. Maybe she wasn't. That experience that you have from having parents is a big part of the parenthood thing. But now, again, another big part is just actually having the kids. You know what I mean? So a person who doesn't have kids, that's a big question right there. Religion aside. You are in straits, dire straits. Something's happening with your kid. I don't know. Maybe she was yeah, I'm going to put that back on. Maybe she, whatever. Something happened. Your daughter. She was caught at school doing something freaky. I don't know.
Okay.
You have a friend. And you come to her or him for advice. But do you? Because that friend has no kids. So if you don't have kids, do you have zero? You can't talk at all to a parent. You have no say so.
No, you can talk. You have.
I've heard that you can't. You can't say nothing.
You can't.
That's what I was.
You can. You have an opinion. You have an opinion, an outside opinion. So that's like me in basketball. You can study basketball day in and day out from when you were born until when you die. You know how many points is this and what's a layup and all of that. You observed it, and then you have Kobe who lived it. You see what I'm saying? You had Kobe who trained every day, 3 times a day. You had Kobe who was making the layups. I could tell you from the outside look, sitting on my couch, hey, he does this, he gonna get 2 points, or he did this a foul. I could tell you sitting down, but I can't tell you what he had to push through to make that layup, because he just came off a 6-month sabbatical from tearing his ACL.
So a non-parent don't have a say so?
They can tell you, hey, you gonna have to do this to win this game, but they can't tell you what you got to pull through to make this layup. You see what I'm saying? To win this shit.
Okay,
they can't
I
tell
can
you
understand completely what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
Because I was gonna
Go ahead.
I was gonna maybe disagree at first, but if you actually look at it, so I was gonna say with the basketball thing in particular, if I'm sitting now and I'm watching him play, I might be able to piece something. Okay, dang, he did that wrong. If he could have did that better, he might have been able to make it. But like you're saying, they don't know exactly what he had to go through internally.
I'm not sure if that's the same metaphor because anybody can play basketball. Not anybody can be a mother.
Cannot play basketball.
Not anybody can be a mother. Only certain people can be a mother, but anybody can be a basketball player.
We're just talking about the advice part. As far as
that's what I'm saying.
Anybody cannot be a basketball player.
Who can't?
Anybody cannot be a psychologist. Anybody cannot be.
And that's like everybody is not meant to be a parent. Everybody's not meant to be a parent.
Yeah.
Like my sister, she loves the kids to death.
Yeah.
But do I think she's gonna have a kid of her own? No, because she's gonna get tired of them after all. She goes, okay, it's time to come get them. But that there go to anybody asks, oh, I want to go to teenager house. I want to go over there. I love her one of her house, but I don't think she gonna have no kids. I don't know, because she'd be like, okay, I'm sick and tired now. I need a break. So if I'm sitting up here trying to take and like pairing the two together, a parent on the outside, you might have someone who's been a parent umpteenth years, and they're doing their parenting thing, and then say for instance my sister, she's trying to critique me on things that I may be able to improve on as a mother. I'm not going to be able to see it from the outside looking in as opposed to being in it. Like when you're in it,
being in it also blinds you a little bit.
Yeah, that's what thank you.
So you need that outside perspective.
Yeah.
So like
I'm saying. I think that I do believe that anyone can be a mother. This is why, but I'm with you. So it's like I'm both sided. But so my aunt, she couldn't have children, right? But as far as raising my other aunt's children, keeping them in line, giving the best advice, teaching them, clothing them, proper clothing, giving them the best learning, she was able to do that. Now, here's the part where I say, here's that difference where you couldn't have that feel of a mother. Now, if I have someone coming up, even a sister, my mother, and they're telling me, oh, so-and-so, you know, your son, he really is this, he's that, you such and such. And it's like, I know my seed. I know what he's capable of. I know what he can do. You might say I'm too hard on Johnny. Right? Oh, you too hard on him.
Johnny?
It's just an example.
The 1950s?
You too hard on Terrence. That's my son's name.
Okay.
There we go.
But I'm looking like, no, you didn't see what Terrence did or how he snuck last week. And this is why I'm on his head. But you're looking at what you want to see. So that's where you can't tell me anything because I know my seed. We know our children's attitudes. We know when they're being sneaky. It's a connection. That's what you can't get. That connection from the birth canal. When you look at them, when you have a feeling, when you jump up in the middle of the night and something's wrong. That's what you can't get. But to be a mother, absolutely.
Will a father get that same? Because, you know, he didn't. So a father ain't going to have that same connection with the kid?
No, he can have a connection, but it's not going to be the same. And
so a man can't be a mother. Like if the mom dies and he has to raise three daughters, he can't be a mom.
He can step in and just like,
but he can't be a mom.
You can do the best that you can to make sure that they're safe. You can do the best that you can
to make sure. Can he be a mom?
He can be a mom, but he may not be able to instill those same things that a mother could.
Right.
So, and we don't want to turn our dads. We don't want to turn our dads into mothers anyway. But if I'm going to work, my husband most definitely can do my daughter's hair. He most definitely can make sure that she's wiping properly after leaving the bathroom. He most definitely can make sure that she's dressed in a nice outfit.
Right.
But can he say, baby, you know, this boy, I'm watching this or this because of this, or you're going to have this feeling when you have your menstrual and it's going to feel like this. He can't explain those things. He can't do those things. So that goes back to that seeding what you know. Two different sexes. But yeah, I've seen men raise their daughters.
I've seen that plenty of times.
And with her sister, I would say I would take advice as long as it's number one coming from a good place too. So if they like going over her house, it's a reason why they like going over her house. It could be a good reason or a bad reason. Hey, she let us do whatever we want to do. We can jump on the couch. And I know somebody specifically, one of my friends, she said, look, they can do whatever they want to do. They can jump and climb up the walls if they want to.
Right.
Come and eat and do whatever. They can't do that, at mom's house, because mom has to instill structure. That's what mom's supposed to do. So auntie does not have to instill structure. You
and then like, I think that, well, in my case,
Mm-hmm.
that could be the reason for some, but she really not like that. She kind of like strict
She
and stern.
can.
She can't, but
she don't
I think
have
it's just,
to.
it has to do with your intentions, your spirit, and the way that you're able to come off to a person. Like,
hey, have you tried this?
People don't really pay attention to the fact, like, this is something else that I've learned recently. You might be feeling one way, and then you go into a room with other people in there, and all of a sudden you're feeling some different type of energies pick up. People are able to pick up on energies, and we don't pay attention to that as a people as much as we should, because like I said, I'm just now actually sitting back to say, okay, wow. I just started feeling like every time you came around, ooh, my whole vibe just be, ooh, you the devil. So, it's like putting that into perspective when you're like, going back to what we were talking about, getting advice from a non-parent. It's like, if their heart is in a good space, if their intentions are good, they got enough wisdom to back it. No, they won't be able to feel how I'm able to feel being this child's parent. And then in some cases, their opinion might not even be needed. But overall, in general, I wouldn't rule out people who don't have kids. No, you can't tell me nothing. I don't believe that.
Right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's child psychologists who don't have children. I'm pretty sure there's wedding counselors, marriage counselors who don't have.
There
you know what I'm saying?
There are. Oh Lord.
So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, I feel like it's. I feel like that's the thing.
No, let's get away from.
All right, well let's get away from there. Okay, we won't go on to that, but the black community. I got out of work yesterday, and it's like 9:40. No, it was like 9:20. I'm like, okay. 10 o'clock is that time frame. You got to get food now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I go right here in Conant, and there's like 3 different black-owned food spots. I'm like, yes, get back to the community. Yada, yada. I walk in there. Just 1 minute. Okay. So then this minute is 10 minutes. And now it's like 9:32. There's 2 people already in there. I haven't been served yet. And now somebody else walking here. He's like, man, I've been waiting a damn hour, man. I can't just get no ribs. And so this whole thing of like black people, and I've talked this with some of my guys that come, it's like black people not hating our own people, but like it's like you want to go to a black restaurant and feel like how you feel when you go to the white restaurants.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we want to support our people, but like it's so much. And then you put these sticks and tape together to make this establishment. And so it's already built off of lollipops and sticks, and then somebody come here and they got a messed up attitude, and now you got a messed up attitude, and everything's just falling apart. And how do we as black people traverse this Serengeti of trying to support our own people while at the same time our own people be like the ones that, what I'm saying, cops are killing us and all that stuff, but as far as being robbed, as far as being all this stuff, that only came from my own people. White dude never robbed me blatantly. Now you can say the white man has. Okay, let's not get into that. But as far as, you know what I'm saying?
Well, so since I'm a restaurant owner, can I speak from my perspective?
You most certainly can.
Okay, so I've too been to plenty of black-owned restaurants, and I've been treated horrible. Nasty attitudes. I'm walking up to the counter and what you want? Like, what happened to the greeting? And you do go to these other places that are established big food chains, and you see the greeting and the respect. Look at Chick-fil-A. Everybody loves Chick-fil-A.
Do they have those here?
Yes,
Yeah.
now.
You gotta tell me where that's at.
Yeah, they
Okay,
do.
I need to know.
It's one on Hard Road now.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, and I think
Jesus.
one is in Allen Park. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then inside of establishments. Like I think they even have one in the hospital. You just have to Google it really. Like
Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Okay. Alexa, remind me in 4 hours to find Chick-fil-A.
Okay, so at my restaurant, and right now,
I love her.
I was waiting for the response.
Yeah, I was waiting. She's jealous. She got some 3 beautiful women here. Okay. So your restaurant.
So at my restaurant right now, we are, I think, 4.9 stars on Google. Awesome. And I believe it was because of my experience of how people were treated. So right now, I'm going into the 2nd year of Slaw Dogs. And
Slaw Dogs.
Yeah,
give us a quick 30-second. What is that?
I've heard of that also.
Yeah, give us a quick 30-second.
That's the name of my restaurant. We sell gourmet hot dogs with all different types of toppings.
Yeah. Where's it located?
15 at Rpper.
Okay.
All beef, gluten-free, turkey, and vegan. Yes, come by.
Oh, you got vegan?
Yes.
She got look at
Like that. Real good. You know that's popping out.
Do a hand clap for that. Do a hand clap for that. All right. I can support you now.
I can support you.
But if the other cultures are offering these things, how dare I not support my people as well and give them these things? Yes. I want to see a change, right? I'm a business owner. Why not when you come into my restaurant, you aren't greeted?
Yes.
Depends on the demographic. Out here on 7 Mile, it's a problem. You call these black restaurants.
Yes.
It's terrible.
Busy.
Why? Because a regular restaurant just would answer the phone and you call in, but because of the surroundings, people call up there, order some shit, $40 of food, and they just not show up. And so now the business is used to that. So they're like, we're not answering the phone no more. You want to come here, order it, wait 40 minutes, and then get your food. And nobody want to do that.
So what about coming to Slaw Dogs, 15 Mile Rpper? You get phone calls and you're hearing, nigger. What about that?
Whoa, who said that?
Yeah, I get phone calls. Like, I endure a lot.
White people? Is it black people or white people?
It's white people.
And they just say nigger.
Nigger. I have the phone number of the person who has called my
restaurant. Let's put that on blast. Let's put it on the podcast. You got that number? You got that number?
Well,
what up, though?
Bring it, but you should have told me to bring it.
I didn't know it existed, but now I know. We're going to have you back here with that.
So think about...
Okay.
You're trying to serve your community, serve your people. You open this place, you have great customer service, but then you have the ones that don't even support you, that are your culture, and they're right there. But then you have the ones that are not, and they're coming in and supporting you. But still on the back end, you're getting these nasty phone calls because you had the nerve to open up a restaurant in their area. So you're getting beat on both ends, and people don't see the ins and outs, and that's why that frustration is happening.
One of the things that that came to my mind. So I generally, I won't say always, 9 times out of 10, I'm going to support a black-owned business, and when I say support, it can be a legit business or not a legit business. No, seriously, like not like that. But I mean, like, of course you see, children 11 years old selling water outside. You know what I'm saying? I might not need a water, but hey, anything positive to, this man ain't out robbing. This 15-year-old is not out robbing. So that's what I mean. But generally, when you think of a black-owned business, I'm thinking about bombs and stuff like that, natural products like that. Or when you say Slaw Dogs, in my head, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be beef hot dogs and or turkey hot dogs, which is good because that's an additive. Usually it's beef or pork, so that's good. And I'm like, okay, well, my husband, he eats turkey, but I don't eat meat, and I haven't eaten meat in over 10 years. So I'm like, dang. And then you said vegan. I'm like, oh, you see what I'm saying? And usually health equals the other cultures. You see what I'm saying? So why are these people not coming out here to support me? Generally, they wouldn't know that, hey, we have these things. And so in my head, yes, I shut it off because I couldn't, outside of making a donation, I couldn't support you because I couldn't get anything off your menu. And when you said that, I'm like, oh, now I can support you. So it's generally, letting them know what you offer in totality and being open for suggestions. So if you only had beef hot dogs and I come up and I say, I want to support you, I might be the only black person from Detroit who want to support you, but I'm going to support you, ongoing. Hey, and she can't because she eats vegan dogs.
Constructive criticism.
Yeah.
We talked about that earlier.
You're not going to be like, which happened to me. I'm not going to say that for the restaurant. It's a black-owned vegan restaurant in Detroit that's popular. And I went in and I was like, hey, do you have this kind of which is possible Impossible Burgers and or Beyond. That's a popular
Beyond
thing. And I said, do you have that? They was like, we only got what's on the menu. And I was like, okay.
They're not getting my money.
Yeah. And then I was like, well, okay, so I can get something off the menu. I was like, but this is a popular thing. People are eating these things, so maybe you might want to get that on your menu. No.
Get out the pen and paper.
Nope. They was like, this is made in the house, and this is what we gonna. I said. And I politely left out. If you can't take a suggestion, I was still gonna order without you having that. But when you can't take suggestions, that means that my opinion doesn't matter.
All right, guys. We are at our last 5 minutes. The last 5 minutes, but I want to put some positivity out there. I want to get something. Normally, I would have my guys here, and I say, there's a 21-year-old man listening to this podcast. He don't got no big brother. He don't got no dad. He gonna listen to this. He want to hear some real shit. Now, I want you to talk to a 21-year-old girl. She out here in the streets of Detroit. Her mom ain't around. She at her grandma's house. There's about 12 niggas living there. She don't got a real good outlook. You have the voice to talk to this 21-year-old girl right now. What advice do you have to give out to the universe?
Well, 21-year-old, you might be in a situation in which you feel like you have no choice but to be in, but eventually if you do work at it, and if you do surround yourself with positive people or surround yourself in the fields that you want to go into, you can come out of it. Tough times don't last always, and you just continue to push for your aspirations and your dreams, and your purpose to come.
All right, there we go. Shontori, appreciate it. Who's next? Who's got some advice for a young girl? Maybe talk to yourself if you were 21. You're talking to yourself. Whoever. How you gonna? What you got for me?
Okay, 21-year-old, if you can hear me, if nobody else loves you, just know that I do. I don't have to know you to love you, but I love you. You are strong. You can do anything that you put your mind to. Focus wherever you're at right now. Lift your head up if you're down. Keep believing that all things are possible. Do the work. Do what you need to do. Stay focused. Don't you give up. Stay strong. And I'm praying for you. So I'm praying for all the 21-year-old young women who are out there. I'll be praying for you and your success, your future success, that you'll be successful in whatever that you do.
That's what I'm talking about. Karlin with the motherfucking hits right there. Give us this last little tidbit here. It's all on you. What you got for us?
I'm so glad you said that, because I work with young women between the ages of 13 and 17, and that's something that I tell them all the time, because a lot of their situations, they don't have anyone, and I always tell them it's somebody out there, of course me, but it's like it's somebody out there that's rooting for you. Don't and I would say, don't fall into your circumstances. You can always be more than what you've seen. I mean, you can dream it, you can be it, and whatever your dreams are, whatever your aspirations are, put your mind to it and continue at it. Work hard, believe in yourself, and don't give up. Prevail.
Message. All right, that's what I'm talking about, y'all. Kiana. Okay. Real quick, give me a 30-second what's next for you so people can check out what you're going on. Let's go with Slaw Dogs first. What's next? Give me a 30-second little boom.
Okay, Slaw Dogs soon. We're going to be coming to Detroit. We're going to open up a location in Detroit. Yeah.
More clapping. Okay.
My son's seasoning, Mad Crab Seasoning, it's on Amazon now. You can purchase to spice up all your seafood. My daughter's Manhattan 11, her bus will be still driving around for low-income families so they can shop on her bus. My preschool is located on 15 Mile and Rpper. All 4-year-olds go for free.
All right, next, what we got here?
All right, so I'm Shontori Bowles. We have Bow Enterprise Consulting, and we also have East Warren Connections. So we do trainings. Anybody who's interested in mental health first aid training, you can email Bow, BOW, Enterprise consulting@gmail.com, and we can consult that way. And again, housing, therapeutic services, things of that nature.
Okay, there we go right there. And Yunna, what's next? What's popping for you?
I would say just follow me on Facebook, Yunna the Rpper. Like I said, I got a whole lot of things that my mind, like I said, I'm staying in my mind all the time, but I don't like to put it all out in the atmosphere.
Okay.
Still getting it together, but just stay tuned.
All right, man. Well, I definitely appreciate the vibes here. We got 3 successful, entrepreneurial, intellectual women here to do things big for the Peter Promo podcast. You know, I like to bring a little estrogen every once in a while in the building, y'all. So thank you so much for your insight, your thoughts, your knowledge, your wisdom. It's been amazing having you guys here. Put some positivity out there. And for everybody watching, thank you for checking us out. This is indeed March. It is Women's History Month. So ladies out there, I want you to go out there, do something brilliant, and do something for yourself, for your lineage, for your heritage, and more importantly than anything, be yourself, because everybody else is already taken.
Oh,
I like that. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna have to use that.
Yeah.
Right, hold on now. Wait a second. We got a thief here.
Did you come that too? Because that's going on my Facebook today.
Hell